Hello and welcome back, it's good to see you. This week's episode of Moon Knight felt like the obligatory side quest to add some heightened tension, but that doesn't mean it wasn't without its moments. So let's dive in. And the chase is on, with Arthur Harrow in possession of the Scarab Compass and Mark Spector in hot pursuit. Mark engages in a fight with a few of Arthur's thugs, but Stephen, being in the passenger seat and none too happy with the bloodshed, causes Mark to lose focus and black out, and then again later after a chase through the marketplace. Mark awakens to find himself covered in blood, having just stabbed one of the henchmen, which is interesting because Mark is the one usually known for his violence, and it certainly wasn't Stephen. I think we could be seeing the breadcrumbs being dropped here for Jake Lockley, who I mentioned in my review for episode 1, to make an appearance. There is evidence to suggest that Jake may have intervened already in the show, back in episode 1 in Germany, where Stephen and Arthur first meet. We assumed it was Mark, but the dialogue from Khonshu does leave it somewhat vague, in true Moon Knight fashion.
Surrender the body to Mark.
Sorry, what? The body? What? Surrender the body? What body?
The idiot's in control.
After Mark's last hope at finding Arthur plummets to his death, Khonshu arranges a council with the rest of the Egyptian gods to call Arthur to trial by creating a solar eclipse, to which the gods aren't impressed, as this could have exposed them to humanity. It's explained that the Egyptian gods decided to recluse themselves and use only their avatars to walk on Earth, as they felt that humanity had abandoned them, presumably during the rise of Christianity, but Khonshu sees this as the gods abandoning the humans. Their decision to distance themselves from humans is not too dissimilar to the Eternals' choice to do the same. The way this scene plays out is kind of frustrating to me. Arthur's brought to trial in front of the Egyptian gods and essentially pulls a reverse Uno card by turning the gods against Mark and Khonshu, by calling Mark's mental state into question and Khonshu's abuse of that. And the fact that the gods buy this is just kind of weird. I get that Arthur's a charismatic guy, but these are freaking gods, so it seems really weird that they would just believe it. A later scene between Arthur and Osiris's avatar suggests that there might be more to this. At least I hope so, because it seems a bit human of the gods to just fall for that. Running out of options, Layla takes Mark to meet Anton Mogart, also known in the comics as Midnight Man, a master thief whose crimes all take place at midnight, hence the name. I really like the way they depicted the city in this episode. It had this kind of ethereal glow to it, and it's nice to see Egypt without a golden filter slapped over it. And this is in large part to executive producer and director of this episode, Mohamed Diab, who wanted to portray Egypt in a more positive light through this show, rather than giving it the standard Hollywood treatment of slapping a golden filter on it and calling it good. Mogart is played by Gaspar Ullier, who passed away in January in a skiing accident. He's in possession of a star map that could lead them to Amit's tomb. Madripoor from Marvel lore and The Falcon and the Winter Soldier gets a name drop here as the last place that Layla and Mogart met. And it's little references like this that make the MCU feel much more connected. It doesn't need to be a ham-fisted character appearance or a name drop or anything like that. It's just little things like this that make the MCU feel that wee bit more cohesive. Stephen and Mark start to team up to piece the map together, but of course it goes sideways, leading to a really cool action sequence, which was actually the show's best yet. Mr. Knight tries to tag in, but quickly dips out after getting impaled. Stephen should have just listened to Mark. Following this, Mark and Layla struggle to piece the map together, with Mark resistant to having Stephen help despite being the expert. He eventually concedes and hands the reins over to Stephen, and I feel like I'm a broken record here, but Oscar Isaac is just so freaking good! This is the first time we see a personality change without a camera cut, and the way he transitions between the two, it's just incredible. And now that Mark and Stephen are able to work together, it makes the changeover between the two characters a little easier. Despite being in possession of the map, it's a couple of thousand years out of date, so Khonshu pulls a major flex and turns the night sky back by about 2,000 years. He needs Stephen's help to do this too, showing that he's beginning to trust him. This is a nice step forward from calling him a worm. In doing so, this once again catches the attention of the Egyptian gods, who are sick of Khonshu's shit. Say that 3 times fast. So they choose to imprison him inside of a stone statue. This is one of the coolest shots in the show so far, and seeing that it's a real thing that happens and not something that happens in Stephen's mind only further reaffirms that living in the MCU must be an absolute fucking nightmare. Between the snap, the return of the blipped, Arishem popping his massive head in at the end of the Eternals to grab Cersei, and now the night sky spinning wildly, on top of all of the alien invasions, it's a wonder anyone in there gets any sleep. I'd be on edge at all times. With Khonshu trapped, Arthur returns to gloat and blame him for his quest to unleash Amit, saying he was driven to this and that he enjoyed the pain he was able to inflict under Khonshu's orders, which may be why he walks on broken glass as a weird form of penance. So all in all, a good episode, if a bit frustrating. Like I said, it feels like a bit of a sidetrack from the main story to find a MacGuffin, but if the frustrating elements pay off, it'll make the episode better in hindsight. What did you think of the episode? Leave a comment and let me know. Thanks for watching. I'll I'll see you next time.